Right, Dread, I've got a little challenge for you if you're up for it.
Yeah, I'm up for it.
So I know you like a bit of S+, so what I'm going to challenge you to do is build a house with S+, that's impossible to build without S+. And then I'm going to build it without S+, or at least I'm going to try. You think I can do it?
We'll see.
Let's do this.
Hey, Cap.
Hello.
I'm done.
You done?
I finished.
Let's have a look then.
All right. First things first, it's properly sunk into the ground. We have upside down gables. We have multiple clipping points from this wall here and up on the roof.
Okay, yeah, I see what you mean. I'm not sure if that'll be possible or not. What's worrying me initially is this half wall around here on the front. The sloped wall's upside down, easy enough.
Easy enough, he says. Okay.
Not easy, but easy enough. The glass, that's going to be interesting as well. Might have to do some experimenting with that.
Well, I don't think you need to match the glass because, I mean, obviously vanilla glass doesn't look like that. I just want to see if you can get the half window.
That's a good challenge, Fred. Right, I'll see what I can do then.
I can't wait to see it, man. I don't know. I have a feeling you're going to be close, but I don't know.
Right, first problem I've got is that S+ has stackable foundations, which I don't have. And in addition to that, I don't have structure clipping, which means I can't simply build with pillars and ceilings and then extend walls into the ground because they're going to be obstructed. So what I'm doing here is using pillars to get two different foundation heights for a start. The difference in heights of these two foundations is almost exactly half a wall height. I'm then going to take those snap points and build steps up the hill using ceilings, walls and pillars. Once placed, the ceilings and walls can be removed. These pillars provide all the snap points I need for my foundations. I need a half height wall on the front, so I'm snapping walls to the foundations that are half a wall lower than the floor level. Here the foundation's obstructed, but it's not a major problem. I can just use a ceiling and then place a foundation over the top of it. I now need to build a floor around this front part using ceilings, but the problem is that ceilings sit a little bit higher than foundations, so I'm using a technique here to make the ceilings flush. Now that all the foundations are in place, we can start working on the main part of the build. Now, for the glass, I'm going to do a little experiment to see if I can make something that looks similar to the S+ glass. So the idea is to use a metal double door frame for the left and right frames of the glass, which is simple enough. But then the more faffy part is to use a raised metal wall for the bottom frame and a lowered metal wall for the top frame. I mean, it looks the part, but I wouldn't say it's really worth the effort, and honestly, I think I prefer the look of greenhouse structures, so we're going to go with them. As I already mentioned, I'm going to need some upside down structures. And there's a few ways I can do this, but the way I'm going to do it is taking a line of fence foundations all the way down to the water, then placing a raft, then using a thatch ceiling I can drop another fence foundation onto the raft at the exact same angle. Then using a ladder to line myself up, I can place another fence foundation at the same gradient as a triangle roof. Then place pillars down from this. And a triangle roof pointing down from this angle will give a very interesting upside down ceiling. The upside down snap point then needs transferring back onto solid ground, so we place the ceiling when it's flickering between a raft snap point and a ground snap point. This upside down ceiling gives upside down fence foundations, so these fence foundations can now be transferred all the way back up to the build. Then to get it to the correct height, I'm going to place a ceiling up above and snap an upside down fence foundation on top of that. And using a couple of walls or door frames, we can get a ceiling that is somewhat aligned but upside down. However, comparing it to another ceiling snap point, I can see it's slightly off. Not sure why it's happened, but it can be fixed easy enough using a flipped wall. Now, although the ceiling looks to be at a good height, it's actually way too high for this upside down sloped wall that I need. So I'm going to use a technique that I normally use for raising structures, but because we're upside down, it's going to lower the structures. Nice, the height is bang on. Inspecting it closely, I can see it does need some very, very slight offsetting horizontally still. To achieve this, I'm going to use something that I discovered only a couple of months ago, which is that sloped right adobe walls give a very small offset. And there we go, doesn't get much closer than that. Although the wall's upside down, it can be held up by a regular way round ceiling. What I'm doing where these half-height windows are is placing double door frames of different materials at various different heights, as they don't get obstructed by each other. Then they can be replaced by the required walls. If you try to use just one material for the double door frames, then you come across a little problem where they block each other from being placed. Now, it took me a while to figure this out, but I've managed to kind of create a half stone wall by using upside down railings and regular way round railings clipped into each other. And here I'm going to use the same kind of method to create the half walls around the balcony. In this instance though, the stone ceiling's giving me some obstruction problems, so I have to replace it with a thatch one to get around that. And then on the other side, the upside down sloped wall's obstructing, so I have to temporarily remove that, only to find that it's still obstructed, which weirdly is to do with the orientation of the thatch ceiling. So I turn that 90 degrees and the problem is solved. Since there are no thatch triangle ceilings, I can't use that trick here, so I have to provide some support up above and then temporarily remove the ceilings below to place the railings and then place the ceilings back again. It can be a lot of work to turn structures upside down, but once you've got them, it's pretty easy to put them anywhere on the build. Up the top end I need to make these round parts, but again the variation in ground height is really going to make this tricky. The triangle foundations aren't too bad because they'll place quite high up off the ground, but the square ones can be a bit more problematic. The wall's obstructed here, but it's not much of a problem. I can just place a sloped wall, then replace it with a wall. Now that I've done all I can with the foundations, I can simply clean it up by placing ceilings on top of them. What I'm doing here is taking the upside down snap point from the upside down sloped wall, only this time it's not to achieve the appearance of something looking upside down, it's to overcome a bit of an obstruction problem that I'll demonstrate in just a moment. So the problem I've got is that I need some half walls here where the ground's really high, which without S+ means sinking walls into the terrain. But as we know, that causes obstruction. So the solution is to place the walls upside down, like this, and then place a fence foundation to provide support to the wall from the foundation. Building these walls with the half-height glass in them is again just a case of placing double door frames and then replacing it with walls in a certain order. On this part, once again I need some half stone walls, which means bringing the upside down structures over to do the double railing trick again. For the half-height wooden walls, I'm going to be kind of lazy and use signs. A better way to do this would have probably been to use a row of 3 wooden windows with the window frames removed, but I think that's more hassle than it's worth. The signs look okay from a distance. For this roof, with all the clipping, for some reason this side's okay, but the other side has obstruction. No matter how many different ways I try to place the structures, something's always obstructed. So I'm going to be a little bit sneaky here and use stairs, then change their appearance to that of a ramp. As for the rest of the roof, it's not too bad, it's just a case of placing everything in the right order. Bit of a problem here in that I've got a railing that's obstructed. It must only be obstructed by a tiny amount because the railing on the other side's fine. So if I raise the stairs up by just a little bit, then it should be okay. And there we go, problem solved. Few pillars to mess around with here and then it will be done. Time to get Dread back to check it out. Wake up, Dread, I've finished. Dread. Oh, there he is.
No. Wait, you finished?
I've finished, yeah.
Wait, what? How in the... Dude. No way. Okay, I have so many questions. Like, all right, how did you do the roof line if you have no clipping?
Is it this bit here you're thinking of?
Yeah.
There was one roof that gave me a hard time. Can you see anything a bit different about this one? Hang on, let me do this.
Oh, so that's a stair converted to a ramp.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you did. You use signs. I made it easy for you right here. Oh, man.
I got a bit lazy by that point. I don't consider that building. That's like a dirty trick.
Yeah, it is. And what's this railing with the stone in the middle? Oh, it's one railing right side up and another one upside down.
Yeah.
Dude, who does that? That looks great, by the way. I think it looks better than the half wall I made. You basically reproduced it. Like, I mean, I know it's not the fanciest build I've ever done, but I thought I used enough trickses to stop you. So, I mean, this goes to show, though, you can pretty much build anything in vanilla.
Yeah.
You just have to know the tricks.
Yeah, I wouldn't advise anyone to do this, though.
So good. Wow.
How many marks out of 10 do I get? We'll finish with that.
Oh, 9.5.
Okay. I'm
dinging you for these signs.
That's fair. That is fair.
No, seriously, man. Like, outstanding job. Just amazing.
So finally, I want to say a big thank you to Dread for taking part in this. Make sure you go check out his channel, and I will catch you in the next one.